Alright, I'm incredibly late to this too, and that's 2 videos I've been late to reacting to. Actually, I think I've been late to reacting to a few videos, but honestly, that's on brand with me, with how late I can be on things, yeah. Exhibit A, you're looking at one thing that was late on, the new model, yeah. Anyways, we're going to be looking at Jurassic World Spino and Mosa pack explained by Goji Center, and then if things go out the way I planned it, I'll have a second video out today, later, of going over the new one, where apparently there's a 4th Spino, yeah. So, yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and... I got nothing else for this intro, so, you know, like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that stuff. Go support Goji Center, and all his video will be linked in the description, all that stuff, and let's jump right in the video now, shall we?
In a cinematic universe where some of the mightiest creatures to ever shake and shadow the earth thrive, what might be the greatest threats may just so happen to dwell beneath the water's surface.
True.
Today on Goji Center...
And it's a good thing that it's in the water and that it can't come out. Well, mostly, because imagine if they could just come out and just start flying or something, yeah. Like just fly in the air, like just swim in the air like they do in the ocean. Like just imagine. Yeah, no thanks. I don't need a damn Mosasaurus pulling off a Gyarados, okay?
We break down the return of 2 of the most terrifying apex predators in the franchise for Jurassic World Rebirth, the Spinosaurus and Mosasaurus, now seen in a way they have never been before, and investigate the real biology behind the deadliest partnership we've seen in the franchise, just when you thought it was safe to go back in the water. There are several
never was, in my opinion. It never was.
Possible reasons these 2 aquatic apex predators look different.
I am very curious to see how this alliance between a Mosasaur and 4 Spinos is gonna go, yeah.
Than the version we saw in previous movies. So far, it seems that the setting of Jurassic...
You know what's gonna be funny? I know, I keep pausing, I'm sorry. You know what's gonna be funny? Watch the 4th Spino just be like an editing error or something. Like that one scene when the Velociraptors came into the kitchen on the first Jurassic Park. Because if you look closely, whenever one of the raptors is entering, you can see a hand touching the raptor model. Yeah.
World Rebirth involves an island near Bermuda that was the test bed for the genetic operations done back in the 1980s. Presumably, InGen sequenced and manufactured the prehistoric DNA here before shipping the completed genomes for production at Isla Sorna, to then be showcased off at Jurassic Park. So it is possible that at least some of the animals we see in the new movie are alpha builds, the prototype to what came later. These animals were deemed either too dangerous for the park, or just not proper looking for park attraction standards, so they were left. Even
here we're roasting the Spino design? Okay. I know a lot of people don't like the new Spino design, but I like it. I mean, obviously it's not beating the Jurassic Park 3 Spino in design, because that looks way cooler. I mean, let's not even pretend it isn't. But I still actually like the new Spino design, and I think it's growing on some people too, yeah.
Behind in the island that we will visit in Jurassic World Rebirth. This includes the Spinosaurus and Mosasaur that we will be discussing today. An alternate scenario is that these are both relative newcomers who migrated to the islands after the events of Jurassic World Dominion. Remember, the marketing for the new movie did imply that a lot of the Earth's biomes were no longer suitable for dinosaurs long term. So some species retreated to the equatorial belt, right where this newly introduced island would be. In either scenario, we are dealing with creatures from a different generation of development to what we saw in 2001 and the 2010s.
Yeah.
Let's start our analysis with the Spinosaurus.
Yeah, I could totally see that happening, though, too, because, you know, they're out in the wild and some other dudes got their hands on dino DNA. Wouldn't surprise me if they got their hands on Spino and Mosa DNA.
Object of admiration by its own fans and consternation by T-Rex fans since 2001, the Spinosaurus came stomping onto the screen and went from an obscure dinosaur only seen in ensemble outings like Warpath, Jurassic Park, and Toy Lines to become the title icon for the franchise until Jurassic World. Based on very few clips revealed so far during the creation of this episode, these animals seem to be within the 12 to 15 meter range. Around the same size of the Spinosaurus seen in Jurassic Park 3, with the potential of it being larger than its JP3 counterpart. Their return in the 7th outing, however, reveals that the Supreme Sailback isn't alone this time.
Yeah.
Sporting a tanned color scheme with dark stripes.
I just want to know how do these things scale in power and compare to the Jurassic Park 3 Spino. Because, you know, that one was obviously a huge menace, And I want to know if these things are weaker or stronger, because while I know people prefer the JP3 design and everything, but we were talking about designs, I'm talking about actual strength and power. Which one actually wins in that? Because if this thing is stronger than JP3 Spino, and there's 3 of them with the Mosa in tow, bit overkill there, don't you think?
Which differ between the 3 individuals seen, the new Spinosaurus is seemingly a halfway point between the monstrous alligator-like baryonyx design we first saw in Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom and the more modern understanding of what a real-life African apex predator looked like. With a wrinkled, crocodilian-like face stretched over the distinctive kinked jaws of the real thing, these 3 Spinosaurus look a bit different than the individual we saw on Site B and later Manticorp Island. The more paleo-accurate Spinosaurus has a shorter but stockier body with limbs even more optimized for swimming. JP3 Spino was plenty adept in the water as is, but this new trio of Spinosaurus are able to keep up with aquatic predators at sea. Other differences include a larger sailfish-like fin and a paddle-shaped tail that further help with swimming and maneuvering in the water. More pronounced talons on the thumbs, and the blinking crests in front of the eyes being switched for a smaller crest in the middle of the head. One thing you'll likely notice in these animals is the shortening of the hind legs, like the paleo-accurate Spino. These hind legs were short, but relatively thicker than you might think. This not only provided the Spinos with more mass, but also lowered their center of gravity. This Spino will likely have better balance on land. Still, the tendencies for these sailbacks to not like humans certainly seem strong, with the trio here showing the same...
I think that can go for, like, any dinosaur in the JP franchise, because I don't think any of them like people. Except for Blue and then the Raptor Squad. Other than that, I don't think there's many that actually like people. Yeah. Because just... specifically the carnivores, because, you know... They're all psychopathic killers. Yeah. Specifically man-eaters and all that. Yeah. And I don't know why, but a theory came in. Maybe they're just pissed off because this is probably their territory, and something big... They see big ship coming in their territory, and it's like, get out!
Tendency to go after boats like their distant cousin did. The reason as to why they do this will be discussed later when we talk about their accomplice.
Yeah. Well, like I already said, territory is a factor.
Mosasaurus, estimated length 32 to 45 meters, at possibly around...
Okay, I can see the difference in the models, yeah. I don't really care much for either Mosa design, if I'm being real, though, yeah.
Or a little less than 3 times the length.
They both look cool, and that's it.
Their cohort, this new Mosasaurus, is at least as huge as the one we saw in Isla Nublar's lagoon. These gigantic sea reptiles were first intended to show up in an early version of Jurassic Park 3, so it's perhaps fitting that the brand new incarnation accompanies the return of that film's star. Only now this accompaniment is far more literal. The new Mosasaurus, apart from being as large as the old Mosa seen in the prior trilogy, features another paleo-accuracy overhaul like the Spinosaurus got. Some differences do still exist, such as the lack of forked tongue and the tail fin being somewhat smaller than the real thing likely had. But this is much more closer to reality than the Indominus Slayer.
Okay.
Sporting a more streamlined body and ditching a lot of the crocodile influence, this new Mosasaurus has a different color scheme with a greater degree of counter shading. This is the same color palette.
Actually, you know what? I think I like this Mosa design more. I think the wide underbelly just does it for me, yeah.
Seen on submarine mammals and many sharks, where the upper half of the body is a darker color to blend in with the depth below, whilst the underbelly is lighter. These changes, along with larger tail flukes, allow this Mosasaurus to swim through the water with a lot less resistance and make a lot less noise than its counterpart from Isla Nublar. So, that said, this sea-going colossus might well be the most powerful...
Yeah, it's just chowing down on the Indominus right here, and it, like, just... Alrighty then.
Carnivore yet.
I wonder where we got that footage from.
Seen in the French.
There was, like, other videos he had on the Mosa and the Indom, so maybe that's what it was from.
This new Mosasaurus also exhibits a very different temperament to the one from Jurassic World, being simultaneously just as aggressive towards humans, but also curiously cooperative with another apex predator at sea.
Yeah.
Another big reveal that is arguably on par with the reveal of the D-Rex we discussed.
Now, here's another theory I just thought of. I probably need to look at the trailer a bit more because I'm probably about to sound stupid. But what if the three Spinos are having a territory clash with the Mosa and the humans just got caught up in it? Just a theory I had, but that's probably not what happened though. And I think the Spinos teaming up with the Mosa is a lot cooler. Yeah.
In a prior video, the beasts of rebirth have subverted an all-too-common trope of when a theropod gets near a large body of water. Instead of attacking the dinosaur, the giant sea monster instead works with them. This might initially seem like a fantastical addition, on par with frilled spinning Dilophosaurus or giant scaly raptors. But believe it or not, there are aspects in nature today that do resemble this kind of partnership.
Yeah.
Being an
some animals do team up with each other. Like I think, what is it, like hawks and wolves, or some bird and wolves? That's a team up. That's the only example I can think of. But there's like other team ups out there, or like the codependency or something, or coexistence. I don't know.
Predator isn't easy.
So it wouldn't be too far-fetched to see that being the case with the Moses and the Spino.
And the fight avoided is a fight survived.
Yeah.
With the Spinosaurus in this new film being a lot more maneuverable and agile in the water, attacking one of them might be a lot more trouble than it's worth. The Mosasaurus certainly could kill one of the theropods if they battled it out, but why bother getting a meal that could wind up being nimble enough to start biting and clawing you up? Especially with other, easier big prey out there. And partnerships between large apex predators and comparatively small carnivores happen to this very day. One of the most fascinating examples involving a modern-day dinosaur is the relationship between wolves and ravens.
Oh, yeah,
These
see?
birds
Like I
have
said.
been observed bonding with and cooperating alongside wolves.
Yep.
Note that this is a relationship between a predator and a scavenger. The scavenging birds feast off the canine's kills, hang around each other, and the birds will even play with the pack members and their pups. The wolves, meanwhile,
That's
get
adorable.
literal eyes in the sky and know to follow the ravens for where the food, alive or dead, might be, and use the birds as an early warning system for threats like rival predators. When a wolf pup grows up and wanders on its own, the ravens that grew up playing with it will follow the lone wolf. The symbiotic relationship between these two species will give them an edge.
Symbiotic relationship. Yeah, that's what it was.
Then
That's
no
the term I was looking for earlier. Yeah.
other lone animal in this biome has.
They're helping the Mosasaur defend territory, stalk, hunt.
Alright, well, screw what I said earlier about the territory clash. Yeah, like I said, I needed to relook at the trailer, but there we go. So, like I said, screw what I said about them having a territory clash. Yeah. that was just a theory anyway, so, yeah. I mean, I even said I was going to sound dumb, and, well, here I am.
Well, isn't that interesting? Another fun example is the symbiosis between the multi-hundred-pound Nile crocodile and the unexpected dinosaur ally of their own. The dickup bird might look unassuming, but it has a scrappy enough temper to square up with threats many times its weight. And if it needs backup, crocodiles will respond to the bird's alarm calls and make an entrance. What does the croc get out of this? Not only is the bird much more active and has better eyesight, but it can respond to threats quicker. This is especially helpful when a mother croc is making a nest, which she even allows the dickups to lay their own eggs next to for mutual protection.
Oh, look at that.
So, what do the
Seems we
Spinosaurus
have a lot of symbiotic relationship with birds here.
and Mosasaurus do to help each other out? The Spinosaurus are big and powerful apex predators in their own right, but they aren't as massive
The Moses is going to jump out and bite on that thing, isn't it?
or as built to handle the ocean as the giant lizard. Having the Mosasaurus to call on for backup could help out a lot in bringing down huge marine game like whales, as well as fending off incursions by one of the most dangerous apex predators in the modern Jurassic world. One that both carnivores might be smart enough to consider a threat due to their big, noisy presence. Humans. And given the previous Spinos' tendency to already gun for boats, any help counts. Remember how the trailer emphasized nobody is dumb enough to go where we're going. Well, this might be the answer to why so few boats would survive a cruise by this specific patch of ocean. The Mosasaurus, meanwhile, could be using the sailbacks as an extra...
Should have gone flight. Should have took a copter or something. Yeah. I would say an airplane, but, well, we found out what happened last time they took an airplane in Jurassic Park 3. Yeah. And so, which is why I say take a chopper instead, yeah. But even then, that could get screwed as well. So, yeah.
a set of sensors and
take like a multitude of choppers. I don't know. Just take flight and keep your chopper safe. Keep like a team to keep them safe. Yeah.
eyes. This new Mosa has a lot of benefits, but still lacks a forked tongue like its ancient ancestor, meaning a reduced capacity to field its Jacobson's organ. Special adaptations like the forked tongue seen in monitors and snakes help to pinpoint direction and distance to a target. And if the Mosa is also aggressive towards humans, having a trio of Spinosaurus with acute vision can help point it in the right direction. Having agile and amphibious Spinos might also help in driving potential targets into deeper waters, such as herding land-bound dinosaurs into the waters where death awaits. Mosasaurus attacking land animals was a method of hunting that the Mosasaurus may have resorted to while it was locked inside the lagoon between the events of 2015 and 2018. So it isn't too hard to imagine this Mosa using the same methodology here, using the Spinos as aids. The way these two animals would have met and begun to cooperate could be one of many. The simplest route for these four to get along would have been an encounter at a younger age, whether they began sharing the same territory upon release into the wild or hatched together, growing up and looking out for each other as a pack as they grew to maturity. The other, more difficult method to get along would require both of these in-universe reptiles to be exceptionally intelligent, perhaps more so than their real-life counterparts, realizing that a conflict between the two entities is not worth their while, helping each other from a distance with leftover kills, slowly building.
Like, well, I'm pretty sure the Mosa would come out on top if it did fight all three Spinos. It would probably be so beat up by the time it was done that it'd probably just be disabled and then die off soon, and then just become scraps for like scavengers or whatever.
Trust amongst each other enough to one day, after a long time, turn tolerance into an alliance. There is another element that is often overlooked that may explain another reason why these two cooperate so well. Remember Dr. Henry Loomis's comment about the Spinos protecting the territory, stalking and hunting rivals. This implies a somewhat sophisticated method of communication between these two different species. Either these exceptionally smart animals learn to understand each other's different calls and what they mean, or whoever cooked up these animals in the genetics lab used a common gene contributor when creating these two. Similar to how it's speculated that InGen's Mosa was part whale, given that it was seen to be a bit too friendly to these cetaceans at the end of Jurassic World Dominion. It's not far-fetched in this cinematic universe that these two animals could share a common set of genes in their genetic makeup, further bolstering their collaboration.
I mean, they did put frog DNA in just about everything, but that probably ain't that probably ain't the DNA specifically making that happen. Or it could be, I don't know. They're genetically engineered monsters. There's a whole lot of stuff that could happen with these guys, so yeah. There's a lot to work with.
Best example of this is how the Indominus Rex was able to communicate with the raptors in Jurassic World, and were perhaps the most dangerous pack in the previous trilogy.
Granted, the symbiotic relationship didn't last long, but it still happened in general.
Knowing this, we can expect the Spino-Mosa pack to work together and show complex hunting tactics seen in modern-day crocodiles and some cetaceans, bringing forth the most dangerous and powerful symbiotic relationship in this franchise.
Well, I keep on getting more and more excited to watch this movie with the amount of videos like these that I watch, The thing I'm gonna hate is that it comes out like at the beginning of July, but I'm not gonna be able to see it until like somewhere around the midst of July because I'm going on vacation in like the middle of July. Or next month, whatever you want to call it, and I'm going to see it then, so I won't be, so I'll probably be avoiding some Goji Center videos around the time, so I can watch it first before then. Well, maybe, I don't know, I just watch them anyways, I don't know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I'll be late to watching that, so yeah, I'll also be watching the Superman movie, because that looks pretty good too, so yeah. But yeah, I won't be seeing it myself for a bit, so yeah. Because I'm saving it for my vacay. So yeah, I'll let y'all know details about that when it happens, Anyways, I'm going to end the video now. I enjoyed that, and I hope you did too. And if you did, check out the original video, which will be linked in the description below. Go show Goji Center support for making this amazing video. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Turn on notifications so you don't miss anything. Check out the gaming channel. Have a good day, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.